Hello and welcome. This is Jeanette Gazella, founder and president of the International Association of Professional Life Coaches. And you're here today with me for the webinar, How to Attract All the Leads You Need on LinkedIn in Only 15 Minutes a Day. So just want to welcome you and thanks for being on time. And let me just start out by asking you a question. Who of you wants to have more ideal clients in your coaching business? If you do, just type in yes in the chat. And who would like to be able to get those clients in only 15 minutes a day? And you can type yes into the chat for that too. And we have a little gap, so I'll come back and check on that in a minute. But I assume that the answer is going to be yes for those of you on the call, because that's why you're here. So I'm as I said, president and founder of the International Association of Professional Life Coaches, and also the author of 3 books. And I want to share with you how I was able to grow that association to over 2,000 members, as well as an online community of over 16,000 members. Just wanted to check in the chat and make sure that everyone was there and can hear and see me. I believe that you can stop doing 90% of the marketing that you're now doing because it's a waste of time. Instead, I'm going to show you how you can save time and money by marketing on LinkedIn. So how would you like to have an ongoing stream of clients from one source in just 15 minutes a day? Well, if this is something you want to learn, turn off your phone, limit your distractions, and be present with me, because what I'm going to share with you is really important and you'll want to take some notes. And I've spent a lot of time putting this presentation together to give you a lot of value. So I'd like to have your undivided attention just for the next 30 minutes or so. And at the end of the webinar, I have a special attendance gift for all of you who are still on the call, which is my Linked Income Blueprint cheat sheet for getting clients on LinkedIn. Now, why LinkedIn? Well, not only is LinkedIn the biggest online business network where many people are now doing business, but also I found this study that was done by HubSpot of over 5,000 businesses. And this was done in 2012. And they found that LinkedIn traffic generated the highest visitor to lead conversion rate, 274% better than Facebook and Twitter combined. So that means that LinkedIn generated the best high quality leads of any social media network. I believe that you can find enough high-quality leads on LinkedIn to give you an endless supply of clients. And I'm here today to talk to you about how you can do this. In the course of running my association, I talk to a lot of coaches. And when I ask them what their #1 challenge is, they invariably say, not enough clients. Or, I don't know where to find clients. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had a prospect that was not an ideal client, but you took them anyway because you needed the money? And it probably wasn't an enjoyable experience either, right? Yeah, I know, I've done that too. But the real problem was not that you needed clients, but that you didn't have enough leads to choose from. So the real solution to not having enough clients problem is to have enough leads that are ideal. And the challenge is finding a place where there's a steady stream of leads that you can turn into clients. So this is for you if you love what you do, but you're not getting enough clients and you don't know how to get them. Or If you've tried all sorts of marketing strategies, but nothing has really worked and you still don't have enough clients. Or you're in social media overwhelm, or as one of my colleagues calls it, Facebook fatigue, and you'd like a faster and easier way to get ideal clients. So today you're going to discover how getting leads on LinkedIn can catapult your business to the next level so you can create an ongoing source of clients for your business. We're also going to cover 6 common mistakes that most LinkedIn users make and that you want to avoid, and the 6 components for a successful LinkedIn lead strategy that will attract more clients in the next 60 days. And finally, how to get leads on LinkedIn who will actually want to talk to you and are much more likely to turn into clients in just 15 minutes a day. But first, I'd like to tell you how I ended up using LinkedIn as my primary source of leads and clients. I started out the same way every new coach starts out. I needed to find clients so I could keep my business going. I found out about social media networks early on and started trying to figure out how to use them. That led to signing up for every free teleclass, webinar, and course on how to use social media to market my coaching business. It seemed like I was a student who would never graduate. Have you come across that feeling with social media? Well, I took a class on making Facebook ads and spent about $100 to get a handful of likes. Twitter was easy to use, but I wasn't getting any business from it. Pinterest looked cool, but I couldn't figure out how to use it for marketing. And my early videos were taking way too much time trying to memorize my speeds and fuss with the lighting. And LinkedIn seemed so formal and businesslike, with everyone's page looking like a resume. And of course, with an artist background, that was a real turnoff for me. And in fact, I spent way too much time with all of this social media marketing and not enough time actually talking to people. And that meant not enough clients. I had been an entrepreneur my whole life, but marketing on the internet was a whole different ballgame. And everything kept changing. Every day I was frustrated and annoyed with myself for not being able to make my business work. Can anyone relate to that? I'm sure there are some people who can. But I kept coming back to LinkedIn. It was there that I felt most comfortable connecting with people. It started out with other coaches. The more I interacted with them, the more I wanted to help them. And I began looking for more information that would help them get their businesses up and running into profit. And so I started my own LinkedIn group for coaches to share that information with. And I started building my association business from the members of that LinkedIn group. Now, it was almost by accident that I made my breakthrough for my business. I started noticing that about 80% of my website traffic was coming from just one social media site, LinkedIn. And so I thought, why not just focus on one platform and simplify my marketing? So that's what I did. I continued to build my own community on LinkedIn, and I just marketed to them. That freed up a large amount of my time, so I was now able to develop more products and spend more time engaging with people online. I had more time for coaching, and my business became more sustainable. And now, 7 years later, my LinkedIn group has grown to over 16,000 members. And they're all my target market. They all came to me. They all appreciate the tips, content, and information I share with them. And I get all my business from that one LinkedIn group. And this is something that you can also do. Now, because people started asking me for guidance on how I did this, I created a program that teaches coaches how to use LinkedIn to generate leads, only in much less time than it took me. And consequently, my clients have gotten more visibility. better leads, and more ideal clients from using my process. So now I'm thrilled to share what I learned with other entrepreneurs so they can have a sustainable business too. So my message to you today is that LinkedIn is an underused free resource that you can use to become more visible so that you can have an endless supply of leads, never have to worry about getting clients again, have an easy marketing system, and focus all your energy in one place, if you know what to do and how to do it. So I'm going to go into more about LinkedIn and the other content that I promised I'd cover with you. And just to let you know that there's nothing for sale on this webinar. I'll tell you at the end how you can contact me further if you want to go further with this. But I want you to just take notes and sit back and enjoy the content. Now, maybe you're not using LinkedIn, or maybe you're not sure whether you should or not. And I just want to remind you of the statistic that I shared earlier about the HubSpot study. Let me repeat it. LinkedIn got 274% better visitor to lead conversion than Facebook and Twitter combined. So this fact alone should be enough to convince you that you should be using LinkedIn to find business. In fact, I believe that you can't afford not to be found on LinkedIn. So I hope I've convinced you of the power of LinkedIn. And now I'm going to share with you the 6 biggest mistakes that LinkedIn users make and how to overcome them. And then I'll show you my formula for how you can start generating leads on LinkedIn in just 15 minutes a day. And then at the end, we'll have a little question and answer session. So mistake number 1 is not having a properly filled out profile page. You see, LinkedIn has its own search engine, just like Google. But most people don't realize the importance of setting up your profile in the right way. The LinkedIn site is so powerful that when someone Googles you, your LinkedIn profile is going to come up on the first page, sometimes even before your own website. So it's important to have a good first impression on your LinkedIn profile page. Now, LinkedIn has just rolled out a new format, and I'm going to share slides with you about how that works. So if you haven't been on LinkedIn in a while, it may look a little different, and you may not be able to find things. And so I'm going to show you where to find them. So you can get to your profile page in 2 ways. One is on the left if you just click on your photo, or if you go to the top right and you see the little icon with your photo and it says Me under it, and then you can just pull down that menu, and the first thing there is View Profile. And then to edit your profile in the new format, you click on the pencil icon in the upper right-hand corner to edit your profile. Now, this profile acts just like a business card, only with much more room for information. And knowing what to include in your profile page can quickly turn LinkedIn into your most important client-attracting lead magnet. In the different sections of the profile page, you'll want to use keywords that are going to attract your ideal clients. And in my program, I have an entire lesson on finding the right keywords. But for now, I want to get you started by giving you a tip about your photo. One of the biggest deal-killing mistakes people make on LinkedIn is not having a good photo. You need to have a clear, professional-looking photo that shows your smiling face, like these 2 clients of mine. And that's the first place where you're going to establish a connection with potential subscribers and clients. Now let's look at some things not to do. This is what it's going to look like if you don't put a photo on there. So there's nothing to connect with here. And so you don't want to do that. You don't want to put a logo on there. These are coaches who have put logos on. And again, there's nothing to connect with. This is a social media site, and so people want to see your face. And the third one here, again, where is the face? So we have the top left where the guy is, can't really see much of his face. It's mostly his jacket. The second lady has got some kind of poster next to her, so you can hardly see her. And again, it's mostly her torso. The third one, there's like 5 or 6 people in the picture, so which one is the coach? And then the lower right, the lady's backlit, so you can't really see her. Lighting is bad, and she's off to one side, so half of the photo is some background thing. So you don't want to do those things. So this is the first step then. Using your LinkedIn profile as your primary source for clients, you want to fill in this profile page with the right keywords throughout the different sections, and then make sure that you have a professional looking photograph. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be taken by a professional, but it just has to look professional, and you have to look professional. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. And after applying the profile enhancing techniques that I teach my clients, I went from being in the top 14% ranking to the top 4% ranking on LinkedIn. And so in my course, I get into much more detail on this, and I actually give you a template for using your profile page so that you're actually positioning your profile instead of just filling it out. Mistake number 2 is not having a company page. Now, although your main profile page is the one you want to spend the most time on, you can also have a company page. It's just like the Facebook fan page. So a company page on LinkedIn is going to make you look even more professional, and it will also help you stand out from the crowd because so few LinkedIn users use this free feature. It establishes a public image, so you're perceived as a reputable, trusted resource. And company pages on LinkedIn are like mini websites. In fact, if you don't have a website, you could start out by just using a company page on LinkedIn. Now, this is the new format of how company pages look, and this is my association page. And this is one of the best reasons to have a company page, other than what I've just shared with you, is that the updates that you put on your company page are going to extend your reach on LinkedIn and improve your LinkedIn ranking. But also, unlike your personal LinkedIn profile, your company page is publicly visible by default. And that's because Google indexes company pages on LinkedIn. So that means that the content that's shared from this page is ranked on the web. And Google also ranks LinkedIn company pages very highly. So having a company page is going to boost your search engine results for your business. And you can even get recommendations for your products and services on your company page. So you can just ask your clients to put a recommendation on there, and it'll just give you even more credibility. And then once you've set up your company page, you can link it back to your profile page in the experience section. And here's where you go in the new format to create a company page. So you go up to the icon at the top right that says work and pull down that menu. And for some reason, I don't know whether LinkedIn ran out of money at the last minute, but you have to scroll down about 1/8 of an inch to get to the part that says create a company page. You think they could have just made that box a little bigger? Anyway, here's what a company page, another company page. This is my personal company page. And this is how it looks in the new format. Now, company pages can also have what's called showcase pages. And that's where you can showcase different coaching programs that you have, as well as other products. And you can make a separate page for each product. And that includes things like your freebie. So here I have a company page for my free report. Here's one for my program, the one that I was telling you about. And there are lots of different ideas that you can come up with for showcase pages. My client, Deborah Jane Wells, made showcase pages. Well, she made 10 of them here, and this is a list of her pages. So one of them was for her book. And so if you have a book, you could make a showcase page for that. And then she populated it with reviews that she had gotten from her book. And she also made a page for her free strategy session. And on that page, she added client testimonials. So you can use these pages in many different ways. After Deborah added these company pages on LinkedIn using my method, she jumped from the top 40% to the top 14% in just 3 weeks. And she said, there's no question that what I did with Jeanette's counsel has created more visibility for me on LinkedIn. And now she has more connection requests than she ever had before. So wouldn't you like to be getting lots of connection requests from potential clients like Deborah is? Yeah, I think everybody would. So by setting up a company page, you're going to be miles ahead of most other life coaches because hardly any of them have one. And it's going to give you more visibility and credibility so that you can get better conversations in those sales conversations that you're going to have. Now, like Facebook, LinkedIn has the valuable feature of groups. But one mistake that LinkedIn users make is that they don't join the right groups to get targeted leads. When you join the right groups, you'll find contacts that will be higher quality leads for your business. Now, the benefits of joining the right LinkedIn group include these following things. So for one thing, you can join in discussions and read discussions that people are having. You can find out what's important to these people and really get a sense of who's in this group and what their needs are. You can post your own content where you can position yourself as an expert and also engage in conversation with other people. You can find potential joint venture partners in these groups. So sometimes it's good to join a group or two that have colleagues in them that you can connect with and do joint ventures and cross promotions with them. And then the other thing you can do in groups is survey them, ask questions, do research on relevant topics, and just see what people are interested in and what they respond to so that you can just customize your programs to a little more clearly to target these people. Now, once you've joined groups, here's the new location for where they are. You have to go again to that work icon at the top right, and at the pull-down menu on the first row in the right, it will say groups. And when you click on that, you'll go to your group page. Now, what you need to know about groups is the best way to participate in them to get results and how to use those groups as a stepping stone to eventually create one of your own. And this is something that I teach my clients. Now, mistake number 4 is that LinkedIn users don't actually connect with others with the intention of building relationships. Now, the main purpose of using LinkedIn is to find clients by making connections. And it's like building a list within LinkedIn. Once a person becomes your connection, you can send them a message in LinkedIn's internal email anytime you like. And the beauty of connections in LinkedIn is that you have more connection possibilities because of the tiered structure. And this is how it works. You make connections on your first tier by directly contacting people you know or people who you would like to know. And then the people on your second tier are the connections of the people on your first tier. And then the people on your third tier are the connections on the first tier of the people on your second tier. So one way to expand your connections is to invite people on your second tier to become first level connections. And that's one way that you can grow your connections. Now, you're allowed up to 5,000 invitations to send out to potential contacts in your LinkedIn account for the life of your account. And you can search by names, or you can search by keywords to find people that you would like to invite to connect with you. And you can even do this within other people's groups. So again, here's the new format, and you can just click on the connect button, and that will bring up a new window. Then you'll see this add a note button. You want to click on that so that you can customize your message. And it may ask you for an email. Just depends on the algorithm, but sometimes you'll get that, and that's what the window number 3 is depicting. And writing a personal note makes it look like you actually read their profile and have a genuine interest in them. So make sure your message is relevant and that you're not just spamming them. And here, this is an example of sending a message to someone that you may have met at an event or something. So that's another way to connect with people, is with people that you've met. Now, in my course, I give examples of the kinds of messages that get the best response so that you can build your connection network quickly and efficiently. You're also going to be receiving invitations to connect from other people in LinkedIn. And it's best to check them out and make sure that they're relevant to your business. Otherwise, you may get contacts who are just going to send you irrelevant announcements and posts. And also, you want to think about whether they are people who are going to benefit from your announcements and posts and other content that you're going to be sharing with them. The main key here is that you want to connect with people who are in your target market. Mistake number 5 is not creating your own LinkedIn group. Now, this is the most powerful way to use LinkedIn, and that's how I built my business. As a group leader, you're seen as an authority, and this adds to your credibility. When you can position yourself as a leader and a real expert, your prospects are much more likely to want to talk to you because you're the founder of a community that's targeted to them. Now, your group can also serve as a client lead generator. And as I said before, almost all of the members of my association came from my LinkedIn group. And I think most people listening to this are in my LinkedIn group. And so, that's how this all happened. And these people saw me as the leader and also someone who provided content, commented on discussions, and gave helpful suggestions. And the other thing is that people really love community, especially if it's of like-minded people that are in the process of overcoming the same problems and challenges that they have. And your group is where you can build ongoing relationships with the members so that they are going to know, like, and trust you, as we all know that know, like, and trust factor, how important that is. Another advantage to forming your own group is that it's another business asset, just like your list. My group grows by itself now at a rate of about 200 to 500 members a month. And when I started building it, I was actively building it, but after the first year or two, I really haven't done anything since then. It just grows by itself. And now I have one of the largest groups of coaches on LinkedIn. And other group leaders and potential joint venture partners come to me to offer various cross-promotion opportunities because of this large group. And in my program, I show you the fastest way to get your group going and how to promote it. And then as the leader, how to position yourself so that when you make offers to your group, you will get more positive responses. Mistake number 6 is not having a focused marketing plan for using LinkedIn. You have to have a strategy for marketing on LinkedIn. A marketing plan provides you with the action steps you need to carry out your marketing strategy in an efficient and effective way. And it will keep you on track and on task. Otherwise, you're just going to stray back into that social media overwhelm. And when I work with clients, we create a plan, or what I call a blueprint, so that they know exactly what to do every day to find those leads and clients. And the blueprint gives you action steps, keeps you on task, saves you time, and tracks what you've done. And we do that with special templates and tracking sheets and checklists. So speaking of checklists, let's review the 6 components that you need for a LinkedIn strategy that will eliminate the 6 mistakes that we talked about. So you want to fill in your LinkedIn profile using keywords to position yourself strategically. Create a company page to look more professional. Join relevant LinkedIn groups and participate in them. Look for people in your target market to connect with. Then create your own LinkedIn group. And lastly, design a focused plan of action for your marketing to your target audience. And that brings us to my formula for getting more exposure and prospective leads in just 15 minutes a day on LinkedIn. So here's what you're going to do. You can spend 5 minutes a day inviting people to connect, 5 minutes commenting on group discussions in your groups, and 5 minutes posting relevant content in your groups. And this is something that you want to start doing before you form your own group, just because it's better to create a presence and get people to know you a little better so that they'll be more likely to accept your invitation when you invite them to your group. Now, I'd like to show you a little math that I did just to show you how powerful just 15 minutes a day can be for you. So I worked this out. Let's say that you do 5 connection requests a day, 5 days a week, and that's 25 connection requests a week. And let's say you do it 46 weeks out of the year. We'll give you like 6 weeks off. That's 1,150 leads a year. Now, about average, 50% of those will agree to be a new connection. And if you're not getting that percentage, then you're not really finding the right target, and you want to adjust what you're doing. Once you get better at finding good connections to connect with, that percentage will probably go up. And let's say that 25% of those people would like more information from you about what you do. That's 144 a year. And let's say that just 25% of those people agree to meet with you for a strategy session or discovery session. That's 36 people. And if you can get a conversion rate of around 50 to 60%, and maybe even better than that, that's about 22 new clients a year. Now, who would like to have 22 new clients a year? I want you to put a yes in the chat, and when I get to the bottom of this page, I'm going to take a look and see how many yeses we have. Now, you may say, some people may say, well, I don't really have time to do this. And maybe you don't. Maybe you have a full-time job and you're doing your coaching part-time, or maybe you just are hesitant about this. If you have a VA, this is kind of an interesting rest of the math here. Let's say that your program is $3,000 and you have 22 clients. That's $66,000 a year that you're going to earn for those clients. And what if you pay a virtual assistant $20 an hour to send out those connection requests? It takes about 2 minutes to send out each one. So I figure about an hour a week. And so that's $920 that you're investing to make $66,000. That's a pretty good ROI, return on your investment. So in conclusion, now you know why LinkedIn is the best platform for finding targeted leads for your business, the 6 biggest mistakes to avoid on LinkedIn, and the 6 components of a good LinkedIn strategy, and how to spend your 15 minutes a day getting those leads. Now, this is just the beginning. What I've shown you is my 6-step system of how to use LinkedIn to get found by your potential clients, and how to proactively reach out and use the interactive tools and free resources LinkedIn has to start generating more clients and more money. But you may be sitting there thinking, well, what do I do with this now? And you have a couple choices. One choice is to take this information and get started. But you may run into a problem with that, and that is that you're still missing some of the pieces, and you may not know exactly how to do all of this. And to figure it out on your own is going to take you more time and probably more money, especially if you count money that you're leaving on the table by not doing anything. Or the other choice is that you could learn this exact process, and I would be able to teach it to you step by step exactly how to do it. So just imagine for a minute if you no longer had to worry about where to get a supply of clients. Imagine opening up your own LinkedIn group and all your clients were there waiting and ready to talk to you. And you had the right offer that they would say yes to. Well, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to speak with me about how this process can work for you and your business, and how we could apply this strategy to it. So what I'm offering is a complimentary strategy session where we talk about your business, where it is currently, what your needs are, what your struggles are, and how LinkedIn strategy that I talked about today could be wrapped around your business to support you. And I do have some limited sessions available that I want to make available to you, and it's on an application basis. So here's the link that you can go to apply for this complimentary session where we'll talk about your business and how it can work for you. And that's tinyurl.com/JK session. And as my thank you for attending today and being on the call, you can also get that attendance gift, the Linked Income Blueprint cheat sheet, at the bottom of that page. Now, all of my clients that have implemented this plan have had amazing results. Here's Angela. She couldn't believe how much she didn't know about LinkedIn, and she said that I made it a lot easier for her to go through the lessons and do what I recommend. And here's Leah, and she says that her connection requests increased by 10% in just a few short weeks, and her knowledge increased about 500%. So she also highly recommended the program. And here's Deborah. We talked about her before. And she thought that she already had a pretty robust profile, but she says that it's way more robust now because of what she learned in my classes. And she also says that it's the most comprehensive, compelling presence that she could possibly imagine having on LinkedIn. So she was quite effusive about that. So again, here's the link for the complimentary strategy session and the linked income cheat sheet. Now I'm going to open it up for questions, see if anyone has any, and or any comments that you have. Now there's a little bit of a lag time, but I'll just keep talking until someone, till I see a question. Okay, Laura says, is it worth paying for the premium plan? You know, I get that question every time. I should just put it into the to the webinar. No, I don't think so. If you notice in one of my slides, I had a premium account, and I did that because I wanted to see what the difference was. Now, I started that before they changed over the new formatting, so there were a few more advantages to having the premium account before LinkedIn switched over to this new format. Now, the difference is really minimal, and you know, I think it's more for people who are doing a high volume kind of business that it might be more of an advantage. But from my viewpoint, you don't need the premium plan. You can work everything out with the free version. I'll tell you what the main difference is, and that is that you can see more people who have viewed your profile. With the premium account, you can see the past 90 days of people who have viewed your profile. And with the free account, you can only see the last 5 people. And the way to overcome that is to just check it more often. So you may want to check it once or twice a week, depending on how many people are actually viewing your profile. But that's also another way to make connections, is to go in and see who's viewed your profile and then send them a connection request, because obviously if they viewed your profile, they are interested in your topic at least. And then you can start building a relationship with them to see if they're interested in further in what you do. The other difference used to be in the search, but now the advanced search for the free account and the premium account is the same. So I don't think you need to be paying that extra money. Use it for other things. Hope that answered your question, Laura. And Simon says, I understand company pages require followers to work. Okay, so here's what it is. You have to list yourself as an employee of your company. And when you fill out your experience section, you'll automatically be doing that when you list your company, because it'll list you as you know, part of it. So that's what that requirement is. You only need yourself, so that's okay. Let me know if that clarifies that, Simon. And So let me just continue with Simon for a minute. He says, what is your approach to encouraging people to follow your company page? I understand you need followers for it to be effective. Yeah, well, it's just like promoting anything else. When you ask people when you're promoting your company page, then you'll also can ask people to follow it. You can also go into your contacts and send them a request to follow your company page. In my course, I give you several different strategies for promoting your company page. And so that also will can be applied to getting followers for your company page. And Janet says, could I use a group as a place for my course members to interact? Absolutely. You can have a private forum for your course members, just like people do on Facebook. You know, Facebook and LinkedIn, they keep copying each other. In fact, all the strategies that I teach on LinkedIn can be applied to Facebook also. You could do all of these things that I just showed you on Facebook and get results there. The main thing is, you know, where are your people? Now, everybody will say, well, you know, all my people are on Facebook, so why not just use Facebook? Well, but the difference is that LinkedIn is the business site. LinkedIn has a higher average income for users on LinkedIn. So you're going to have more people that can pay for products and services on LinkedIn than on Facebook. So yes, I have groups for my different programs. In fact, the LinkedIn Income Blueprint has its own group where they can ask questions, everything. So you can do that, Janet, and of course it's free. Hope that answers your question. And anyone else with a question or a comment? So let me know, was this helpful for you? Can you take some of these ideas and go back to your LinkedIn profile and implement those? Yes, Janet says thank you. And I'll wait and see if anybody else wants to make a comment from what I've asked. Janet says very helpful and encouraging. Great. Laura, every once in a while I try to send an in message and it restricts me. Why? Okay, that's because LinkedIn only allows you 15 in mails per month. And once you use those, then you have to wait till the 30-day period is over. And actually, that's another difference between free and premium, which isn't much of a difference to me, which is that premium, you get 20. But I mainly send messages to my connections. But yeah, if you go through the who's viewed your profile, you'll find that if people are on your third tier or not on any tier, then in order to send a request, you have to send an in-mail. And so that's what that's about. However, if you don't use all the 15 in the month, they do accumulate somehow. It's not like accumulating 15 a month, but somehow they give you more. I've noticed that I have more that I can use. And Simon says, thank you for the value and not doing a cheap, pushy sale at the end. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like either. I appreciate that, Simon. Jan says, yes, thank you. Great tips. David learned a bit. Okay, yes. You know, you can always learn something from things that you listen to. I know sometimes I go to webinars and I think, yeah, I already know all this stuff, but there's always something that you don't know. So thanks for attending with us today, David. And I hope you found what you did learn valuable. So if there's no other comments or questions, we'll wrap this up. And thanks again for attending. And Oh, Laura has another question. Is there a way to check starting date of InMails? I don't know about that, but if you put your email address in the chat to me, I will see if I can find the answer for you. Like I said, LinkedIn is still rolling out things, and I'm still looking for things that are in different places now, but we'll see if we can get an answer for that. Sometimes they tell you and sometimes they don't. Okay, yeah, and the cheat sheet, Simon, is at the bottom of that page, tinyurl.com/JK session. So just go there, scroll to the bottom, and you will see it. All right. Well, thanks again for attending. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. If you go to my website, JeanetteCazella.com, or the association site, you'll see my email there. Okay, and Simon, no, you weren't rude. That's fine. We all try to be quick these days. All right. Thanks again.